picture of what I felt like when I first got here. Just somewhere like that. Because it's a new culture, it's a new place. If not all of you know, I was from Singapore. I spent time in the US before, but not as a student. So this was a whole different feeling for me. So when I first came here, that was what it felt like. Slightly nervous, well no, very nervous, terrified of everything, including getting on the road because I'm used to the other direction of like orientation, and I still have issues with that. I didn't realize that the street that Dennis lives on was a one-way street about last week, and I decided to barrel down on the wrong side of the street at 25 miles an hour on a bike. Was wondering why people would just flash their lights at me. But I was like, chill out. It's a Saturday morning. It's 7 in the morning. You guys shouldn't be so angry. I was on the wrong side of the road. And then 2 years later, well, 2 years-ish plus later, I decided that I was more like that. After a couple of years in school, back in school, which I did a lot better when I first left school. So another big story about me. I know. I left high school with a terrible transcript. So pretty much I didn't have any options. And then after that, I left the army and realized that desperation was extremely good motivation. So I became a little more learned. Something like that dog. And less scared and more, I don't know, he looks slightly annoying, but I think it fits the picture. Because after a while, it just like, Isla Vista is awesome. Until someone next door decides to play eyeball pulsing music. And then you realize that you have old eggs in your fridge, and it's very tempting. But so, I'd just like to share a message of thanks to everyone for being so welcoming, so nice, and giving me all these opportunities, and for the uncomfortable number of times you guys have gotten me out of some really strange situations. So, special thanks to Frank for helping me get my driver's license. Thanks, that was amazing. I was really terrified of breaking your car. I am still very terrified of breaking cars, and I will probably not drive when I head down to Los Angeles because it just terrifies me. Like, there's way too many cars and way too many people. And special thanks to also Dennis for getting me out of a very sticky housing situation in Isla Vista. And then thanks to, well, really, at this point I might as well just name everyone, but for all the opportunities that I had to serve the community, be it study hall or warming center, and making friends in this area. So that's the Thanksgiving part, and next would be the actual message that I was supposed to share, which was, no, I think there's something else. There, I decided to share a message about happiness, because I like happiness. And, I mean, the world seems surprisingly depressing nowadays, no? Like, I'm pretty sure, well, I was counting, not exact, but we spent at least double to triple the time on bad news than good news this morning, essentially. And really, things just sound terrible every time you wake up in the morning. The news sounds terrible. Like, socio-politically speaking, we are in a bad place. Economically speaking, we're also in a bad place. I realized Costco's stuff got more expensive. I'm sad. And personal things, we also tend to focus on negative aspects of our life. I woke up this morning feeling very stiff and was very annoyed, extremely annoyed, until I realized that I could move my thumb, which was great. Because after 3 weeks of not being able to move my thumb, that was amazing. I was stuck this way. So like, how am I doing? I'm not doing great. Because I tore the ligaments of my hand. But I didn't think about it. I sat down and think about it. I was like, there's always the good side of everything. We talked about students leaving this community, but we have new students coming before even school started. Like one over there, which I just forgot your name. I'm so sorry.
Katrina?
Caitlin.
So I'm not the only one. Congratulations. I was told that PhD stands for permanent head damage. I'm not sure how true it is, but I think my memory has been getting worse the more I study, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because hopefully I don't have to do that many exams and finals anymore. And also I realized that as a math major, as I progressed down towards my degree, I'm becoming increasingly bad at counting. I really can't do it.
Accounting.
Yeah. I lost a point in my final because I wrote 1 + 1 = 1. It's true. It's a true story. So, this is going to talk about happiness and how I see it and share my views on it. And I think happiness is a place. Everyone thinks happiness is a place, you know, could be a figurative place or a physical place. Sometimes people think Barbados is a great place to be. But I think happiness is a place within yourself. It's this little thing that's not very tangible because no one else knows your happy place but yourself. And your happy place could be very disturbing for other people. And I'm going to take a quote from a TV series that I discovered over the summer break called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There was this police officer whose idea of a happy place was extremely brutal and terrifying, and involves something around the lines of brutalizing people that she's not happy with. But that's a happy place. And I'll not distract from the message, but I think my happy place, I think our happy places are within us. And to actually find your happy place, you gotta look within yourself, and you don't have to seek what we all seek. We don't seek out what we need. We seek out what we think we need, such as being skinny. You don't need to be skinny, but everyone says you need to be skinny. The biggest gripe I hear about people is I'm fat. It's a guy problem too. Just saying, you know, guys actually do ask, am I fat? As much as we don't say it, I have enough guy friends to talk about it. And the thing is, you don't need to be skinny. You need to be healthy. Really. Like, there's no point being a 130-pound, extremely anorexic/bulimic person. But you could always be this person who is just healthy. Work out, keep yourself in good shape. You don't need to have washboard abs, or as most advertisements says that, you know, you need to look that figure. You don't need to. That's what you think you need to. You don't have to. Having extremely good figure doesn't ensure that you live a long life. And you also, we like to talk about fitting into groups, seeking the acceptance of others. But I think the first thing before we talk about seeking the acceptance of others, is seek acceptance of yourself. And that kind of ties back to the verse at the start, which is that you're great. Like, you're really great. I am wonderfully, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And, you know, when you think about it, you just have to accept yourself as you are. And from there, you can start going through the road to find your little happy place. And the next thing I want to talk about is that from there, what's next? So you accept that you are awesome. Everyone here is awesome. What can you do next? And I think doing next, the next step for that is to be proud of your life. You are your own life. Own it. Be proud of it. Go be fierce. Stand up proud. Shout out to the world, I'm awesome. But shouting out to the world, I'm awesome is just step one. You know how like Alcoholic Anonymous has like the 5-step program, so this is one. That's step one. I'm awesome. Tell yourself. So step 2 of the program would be to have a cause. Like, have a cause that you believe in. And, oh gosh. Never mind, I'm short enough. So have a cause. I'm really short, I'm 5'4". Have a cause that you believe in and do something about it, rather than sit around and talk about it. Because a lot of us have causes that we believe in. Immigration, environmentalism, whatever. But just sitting around talking about how bad it is, you just feel terrible. You don't go out there and do things. Like, we can talk about how terrible social support services are, but by going to the warming center, I feel strangely warm because Manny's a really nice guy, sometimes. Well, most of the times, I'd say, you know? And once you have the cause, fight for it. Don't feel inadequate. Most people say, I can talk about it, but I can't do it. You can. Seriously, I believe in every one of you, and everyone should believe in themselves. You can do the thing. Whatever the thing is, you can do the thing. And so through the whole process of having a purpose, overcoming inadequacy, you find your happiness. Well, at least that's for me, which is why I'd like to thank this church community for helping me find my happiness when I'm in the US studying for the last 2.5 years and probably for the many more years to come. Someone once asked me the question and I was like, yeah, so after the PhD I do want to go for a JD, and after that I might want to go for an MBA. I think that's like possibly up to a decade. So I don't know. I seem to love school now that I am back in it. I don't know. Stockholm syndrome. So yeah, so I'd like to thank everyone for not just helping me like in the direct manner, but also in an indirect manner in helping me find my happiness. So with that,